Good morning. Yes, you don't normally see me sitting down here, do you? I'm in the lounge. It has just gone 6:15. It's nearly 6:15, so got to be a bit quiet so I don't wake everyone up. However, I've got my late shift at work today. The weather's okay, so I'm planning to go for a run this morning. Would it be time to do another layering video? Now, I'm going to eat this orange, but it's going to be one of the things I'm going to look at today. So we're going to look at fruit today. Can fruit increase the performance, increase that citrus zestiness of a fragrance? And I've got the fragrance upstairs. It's basically a very generic sort of cheap fragrance. I want to see if two types of fruits can maybe improve the performance of it because it's not the best performer. First one's going to be an orange. I'm going to actually eat the orange and then I'm going to rub the skin on, or rub the peel essentially on my arm because that can be quite oily. And then in here, which I'm a little bit nervous about doing, I'll open it up. Got a bit of banana and I'm going to rub that on my arm and also see because that's a little bit more waxy, a bit more, a bit thicker, isn't it? A banana. We'll see if that also improves performance. Banana and orange are obviously very popular notes in fragrances. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to eat my orange quickly and then, I'll rub it on my arm. Not sure about that feeling of a banana on my arm, but we'll see. It's a very juicy orange. Right. I've got orange all over my hand, so I'm going to rub it into that. I'm going to put it on this arm. Right. Oh, that feels horrible. There we go. It is quite oily. If anyone's ever rubbed like an orange peel on their arm, or even just smell their hands, it's very hard to get that smell of orange off. There we go. You can probably see it's absolutely flattened the hairs on my arm, so I'm going to use a couple more bits. Okay. Oh, I'm dropping it now. Squeeze the peel a little bit. There we are. So that one's done. Oh, now on to banana. Look at that. That looks horrible, doesn't it? I don't want to touch it with my hands, but it's going to go on this side. Oh, that's horrible. That's like glue. It's not that dissolvable. Oh, there we go. Can you hear that noise? It smells like proper banana. Probably because it is. Oh, look at that. Look how clumpy and horrible it is. Right. There we go. So it's all sort of rubbed on. Just damp that down a bit. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to just let my food go down. I'll make a couple of bits, get my bag ready for work today. Now I'm going to go upstairs, spray the fragrance on both on top of these, let it sit for a little bit longer, and then I'm just going to spray on its own under here. Going to go for a run, do my workout, and then when I'm back, I'll give my sort of thoughts on whether fruit can be used to layer fragrances. Probably not, but in the name of science, we're going to do it. 15 or 20 minutes has gone by now. Time to smell my arms again. Now I'm going to just let you know, the initial impressions, the banana was stronger, really strong, realistic banana smell, obviously. Not like that synthetic banana milkshake smell, just pure like, when bananas start to go brown, that sort of smell. So what I'm going to do, I'll start with the orange citrus, because yeah, that's a bit more oily. I always think that will last quite well. It's not amazing, but it's there. Like in a fragrance, it lasts about 20 minutes, half an hour, sometimes that citrus opening. That's about what I'm getting. To be honest with you, I almost have to be about that close with my nose touching the skin to even detect it at all. But really, my nose almost needs to be touching it. But it is still there. That's the main thing. I've not got a lot of expectation that that's going to last. But you never know. Again, things like sweat, warming up, maybe it'll bring it out. Maybe the fragrance will help bring it out as well. So the banana now, it's horrible on my skin. It's really, really dry and I can just feel it there. It gets hardened up. It's a little bit lighter, I would say. Again, it's dried up a lot more than this. This is obviously a lot more oily. The peel in an orange is a lot more oily, so I expected it to maybe be a bit better in that sense. But it is there, particularly lower down on my arm where it's driest. But I have to be touching it with my nose. I don't think... Oh, it's about the same. To be honest, it's about the same. About 2 centimetres above probably is just about right. But again, whether that's going to really last for a day. Let's be honest, bananas aren't a really strong smelling fruit anyway, so it's going to be interesting. I'm going to apply the fragrance now. So let's do full spray. So yeah, the spray I'm using today is Cool Vetiver, by the way. This is a Marks and Spencer's fragrance. Been compared to Creed Aventus. To be honest, I've smelled Creed Aventus in the past. I don't think it really smells that much like it. To me, it's just a very easy to wear, young, shower gel body spray type smell. More in that Dior Sauvage type sort of range. So what I'm going to do, let's do 4 sprays on each arm this morning. Let's do 5. 5 is one of my lucky numbers. So 5 on there. 5 on there. And then I'm just going to spray just underneath my arm here, just with the fragrance on its own. Do the wrist as well, just so I can get an idea then of, is the fragrance actually better on its own still, or is it going to be a little bit of better performer with those things layered on top? So I'm just going to get into my running stuff, and then we'll do a quick impressions before I go out for my run. And then we're going to do 3 checkpoints on my run today. So third of the way through the run. So I'm still suffering with my cold at the minute. I feel a lot better though. And yeah, halfway, and then another sort of third checkpoint, and then yeah, we'll do our final thoughts at the end today. So time to get on with it. Thankfully, it's not windy out there. And as if by magic, I'm now in my running gear. So it is time to smell my arms. The fragrance has dried. I've just kept it with long sleeves on for the last sort of 10 minutes, just so it traps the fragrance in. But now everything's dry. Hopefully everything should have settled down. We're going to roll the sleeves up, and we'll see what we can smell. So we'll start with the fragrance just on its own. Yeah, fine, really pleasant. This is a really pleasant fragrance. If you live in the UK, you can get Cool Vetiver. I really recommend it. It's very much a dumb reach, throw in your gym bag, do all sort of fragrance. Nothing special, but I quite like it. Being a sporty person, it works well. And yeah, just a clean, like you've been in the sea, like you've had a shower gel. Nice sort of smell like that. Right, let's go for the orange citrus. So what I would say, there's not a huge amount different here, and I'm probably, no, there is a slight difference. Now I'm looking for it, of course I am. I'm trying to see if I can really detect it. There's a slight fizziness with the citrus one. Again, it's that zestiness from the orange, I think, the orange peel that's just, it's definitely bringing a little bit of a sparkle to it. This is very aquatic, this fragrance. There's definitely more of a zestiness. I'm not really getting an orange smell to it, but a bit more like a peppery orange. It's definitely a bit more fizzy. It's almost fizzed up, the aquatic smell. That's what I'm getting. So let's go on to the banana one. But yeah, performance with that's not any stronger. So if we're talking about layering for performance, yeah, definitely not. Wow, I didn't expect that. That is stronger, but it's completely changed the smell of this. Now, this one I said probably has made it smell better. It's made it a bit more zesty. This one smells like bananas that have gone black. You know, like when a banana's super, super ripe and it's just gone off. A little bit like, and this is going to sound really awful, but you know when the dustbins like empty all the bins, you get that like banana skin smell? It smells like that, but it's overpowering this fragrance of the banana. I don't really like that smell. I'll be honest with you. That smells like off bananas. You smell like a very, very overripe, rotten banana. But I'm quite impressed how much that has changed the fragrance, particularly because it's dried. So, yeah, interesting. We'll see now. I'm going to go for a run. It's a little bit warmer out there today, so thankfully not as windy. I'm going to actually put this back over my arms to start the run to try and really keep them warm. Hopefully then it will release a bit more of the fragrance and the layering as well. And yeah, we'll do a little update as we go along. But that's really interesting. So far, nicest smelling, this one. Best performing, this one. But yeah, the banana doesn't make it smell good. The orange has added a zestiness. The banana's added a, yeah, little bit rotten smell. And then the fragrance on its own, it just smells good. It smells what it's meant to be. You're not meant to rub fruit on your skin. Anyway, stop putting off a run, Harry. Let's get out there. Okay, so it's just gone 7:30. It's the part 1 of my run, so I'm going to do the original fragrance first. Then the orange. And then the banana, the one I'm really interested in. Okay, right, so the original's there. Actually, I have to say, I'm going to give this phrase its due. First hour it performed really well, and yeah, it smells really nice. The orange is definitely bringing, without changing what I'd say the scent is, it's definitely bringing a zestiness, a fizziness on my arm. You can tell there's something else on there. Let me just smell it again. It probably has brought the fragrance out a little bit, because it's very oily. But it's not, as I said, it's certainly not changed the composition of the smell. It's not like, oh, that's made it smell more, but I said it's more in its way it's sort of presented. It's definitely fizzier. Let's just smell that banana again. And I have to say, the rotten sort of smell, maybe it's because I'm outside, and as I said, banana isn't particularly a strong smell. It's become quite tropical, that one. I mean, again, I would say it's certainly not as zesty as the other one, so that does tell me that something's happening with one of these layerings. But maybe there is a slight more... Oh, there is a bit of banana there, actually. Yeah, you're getting a bit of a hint of both. I'm almost getting a bit of the fragrance, and then the longer you breathe in, or inhale, you then start to get that sort of rotten banana smell again. But if you just catch it in the air without thinking too much about it and literally smelling an arm, it does have a bit of a tropical vibe to it, almost like those sort of, like fruits when you get off a bat enclosure. It's got that sort of smell. It's quite pleasant, but what I'd say with all three, the fragrance is clearly the most dominant thing. It's just very, very small, and I'm saying you have to bury your nose in your arm. Changes to it, but in terms of performance, I don't think there's a huge difference. I think it's much the same in a minute, but of course we'll do another update a little bit later on. Okay, so halfway through the run now. It's just time to do another smell test. So, original, orange, banana. Right, I have to say, at the moment, I think the strongest is the orange, and there's still that. And again, I feel like I'm probably looking for it, but it is definitely a little bit fizzier. It's nice, but again, I don't think it's making the fragrance any stronger at all. The original still smells pretty good. I think that one is starting to fade a little bit. Now I'm warming up, but overall performance, again, it's not enough difference to say start rubbing orange peel on your arm. And I have to say, I think the banana's starting to fade now. My arm doesn't feel as dry with it or anything like that. Apologies for my nose and stuff running full of snot. But yeah, overall, everything's really pleasant. Nothing sort of horrible. As I said, that banana tinge that you get when you really bury your nose in, it's there, but it's not strong enough to go, oh, I couldn't put that on. But then on the flip side, it's not strong enough to make you think, right, I'll grab a banana from the shop today and start rubbing it on my arm. So what I'd say so far, orange is performing the best. Neither of them feel like they're blocking my pores. As I mentioned the other day, obviously things like petroleum jelly and butters and stuff, they can be really horrible. These don't feel like they're really clogging my pores at all. So that's one positive. I'm just going to have one more smell of the orange. Look, if I'm being honest with you, I don't think that orange, unless I knew that I'd put it on, I wouldn't know it was there. So that's what I'd say. Look, yeah, maybe it's slightly more zesty, but that might just be a subconscious thing, just trying to find any real difference. But if it is, we're talking 5-10%. So we'll see if anything changes. Obviously, when we get back as well, I'll do one more check on this run. But overall performance on all three is good. I said the other day with the antibacterial hand gel, what I was rubbing in was blocking the fragrance coming through. These haven't done that at all, and they certainly don't feel horrible on your arm. But again, funny enough, there is that bit of cooling effect to it, particularly the banana. That sort of mushiness. It's making my arm feel really, really cold. So if there's one thing these things do, like fruits and stuff, and oils, they definitely have a cooling effect, which when it's quite warm, it's not a bad thing. It's time for a final smell on my run. Oh, do you know, the banana one is really weird. Let's just go through them all anyway. So the original fragrance is starting to ease off a little bit. Certainly not feeling as strong. Funnily enough, again, the one on the top of my arm here, and it might just be because it's slightly easier position to sort of perch my nose into, with the orange on top, definitely smells the strongest. However, it's probably just the fragrance now. I can't really smell any orange, to be honest with you, so I'm not going to give any credit to that. I don't think it's more zesty now. I think it's become more aquatic, and yeah, to be honest, I think it's just the fragrance kicking through with just that sweat, to be honest. So that's that one. But the banana, it's really coming through again. It's overtaken the fragrance. Well, maybe not overtaken, but it's certainly not, put it this way, it's not blended with it at all. It's quite separate, and it probably goes back to what we were saying earlier. It was quite dry on my arm, and where it's dry, it's not really soaking into the skin, so I think it's just essentially sitting on the surface. So when I'm sort of getting that smell, I'm getting the fragrance that's kind of obviously actually in my skin as an oil, but that sort of crustiness on the top of my skin is just there as well, but it's certainly not soaked into my pores. And I think after I've had a shower, I don't think I'll detect it. I think it will just wash all of that off, and I wouldn't be surprised if the orange becomes more noticeable, because that definitely absorbs into your skin a bit better. So while I can't smell that orange one at the minute, I think that will more likely come out of the shower, because it's definitely absorbed in better and blended better with the fragrance. But I don't think the banana has. I just think it's those dry bits that are literally on the surface of my skin that I can see, and they're horrible, and they're just there because it doesn't feel like it's blended at all. So at the moment, yeah, the original fragrance is starting to wear off without the layering, but overall, none of them are too bad. This is certainly better than the antibacterial hand sanitizer on all counts. Giving it a proper smell now, because I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Now I'm indoors, I'm out, I'm not blowing my nose and everything. Right, so the strongest is still the orange. And just at the top of my arm, again, I don't know if that's where maybe there was a little bit more of the orange peel. I'm getting a very faint smell of the orange, but there's certainly, again, if you blindfolded me and said, oh, what have I rubbed on my arm with the fragrance? I'm not detecting it. So let's just leave it at that, really. It's not made a huge difference. But it's definitely stronger than that one. And maybe what's happened with the orange peel and the oily sort of complexion, or the oily sort of composition of it, a little bit like the peanut butter, maybe it's just trapped the fragrance in it a little bit more, because it's, a little bit thicker oil. Maybe that's just helped with performance, but in terms of scent changing, not at all. But performance, maybe it has helped. It's certainly stronger than under my arm, so that's one thing. I'm not really getting the banana again now. The banana seems to have completely stopped again. I got it a bit earlier. Again, maybe that's where I was a little bit warmer. I've cooled down again now. But the fragrance isn't particularly strong either, so it's sort of wearing off in general here. And again, maybe that's where it's a little bit dry. Where this is more oily, maybe that's helping hold the fragrance together a little bit more in terms of performance. Where this is dry, the fragrance isn't really it's not soaking into the banana, essentially, because it's just too dry. And so that's been the most different in terms of smell. So that's been the most different in terms of smell. Performance not as good. Performance is certainly better with the orange, but the smell's not as strong. It's certainly not, it's just the fragrance I'm smelling, essentially. But it's stronger than the original, and that's all I can say. So there's one real positive there. At the moment, the orange is doing really well. I think it's going to be the only one that's going to survive the shower, but you never know. Maybe the banana will come back through. Maybe that dryness will become a bit softer again, and it'll smell like banana. But either way, yeah, it's been an interesting experience. It's certainly been better, though, as I said earlier, than the antibacterial hand sanitizer. So do a few weights, quick shower, and then we'll do our final thoughts at the end, see if anything changes. shower done, as you can tell by my bad hairdo. Time to smell my arm. I'm not expecting anything but this, to be honest with you. Okay, there's only one that I can smell, and it's actually the orange one at the top, and it is very, very faintly orange. So definitely that oil from the orange peel has definitely helped in terms of with the fragrance. But there's nothing really in terms of the orange itself. I just feel like the fragrance has just stayed on the arm a little bit better. But with the banana one, absolutely gone. Original fragrance, absolutely gone. So it's literally just a very, very faint, I'm talking 5%. You can smell this fragrance with a slight fizziness. This is a great fragrance though. It's not lasted now because it was a hot shower. It's been 4 hours, 3.5 hours since I applied the fragrance. So I think that's absolutely fine. That's what this fragrance is essentially. So what have we learned today? Well, first of all, don't rub fruit on your arms. It's probably a good idea. And yeah, just be aware if you're using things like fruit and you're trying to layer with fruit, fruit can go off a little bit. So you don't really want that. You know, things like apples and stuff that go brown, bananas. Yes, it's probably not the best thing to do. And I certainly don't think it's adding enough to a fragrance to make it last. But once again, oilier type substances seem to work best. Oily and stuff that, yeah, doesn't, it's a little bit thicker than just a water essentially. I think if I just use an orange, like the juice from an orange, I don't think it would have done anything at all. But whether it's really made a huge difference to the fragrance there, I'm not really sure. I still think the jury's out with that one. But yeah, very interesting. Again, I think dry things that sit in your skin definitely bring out the original thing. So the banana, because it's dried on my skin, I noticed it more. Same with the peanut butter, I noticed it more. However, I don't think it really helped the fragrance. I think it just blocked the fragrance, whereas the oil certainly blends in a little bit better. But yeah, another study done. We will definitely do a few more. I've got a couple more in mind this week as well. But please share if there's anything you would like me to sort of mix with it as well. And yeah, I definitely would like to do that. I've just done a little order from Argos as well, and there might be a scent related thing to come from that as well. So yeah, I'll keep that a little bit secret for now. But yeah, hopefully you'll see that one soon. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you later.